more powerful than Rafale. France tests new generation combat engine, NGF, designed for future combat. The new generation fighter, the sixth-generation fighter jet produced by France, Germany, and Spain, as part of the future air combat system, and it will require engines more powerful than its predecessors, according to the French Ministry of Armed Forces. Conceived as a collaborative idea to develop a next-generation fighter, France's Future Combat Air System, FCAS, just got a big boost. New impetus and equal commitment from all stakeholders have set it in motion. This new development could be a major breakthrough in the FCAS program. France has tested a prototype engine for the new generation fighter, NGF, being developed with Germany and Spain as part of the larger Future Combat Air System, FCAS/System to Combat Aryan Future, SCAF. On April 10, France's Defense Procurement Agency reported that a prototype engine under the Turenne program had successfully passed ground tests, utilizing a power plant adapted from the Snecma M88, which is now mounted on the Dassault Rafale fighter. In late 2021, the Directorate General of Armaments, DGA, completed major tests for the development of the next engine of the NGF, SCAF, FCAS/fighter aircraft, as part of the Turenne Defense Technology Project led by DGA. A prototype derived from the Rafale fighter jet engine was tested on the test bench, said DGA. The new engine is expected to have more thrust than the Rafales and Eurofighter Typhoon, so the new aircraft will effectively replace these two fighters in the long run. High thrust means higher temperature. So last year, the adamant acceleration of the development of alloys and multilayer systems for application to new turbines research project was announced by the French Ministry of Armed Forces. It brings together the Ministry of Procurement and Innovation Agency, DGA, France's National Aviation Research Center, ONRA, and Safran, the French engine manufacturer, as previously reported by Arab Time Hub. After that, France's Safran aircraft engines, Germany's MTU Aero engines, and Spain's ITP Aero reached an overall agreement on the development, production, and support of a combined engine for the next-generation fighter, NGF, to run the FCAS program. How different are these machines? This test differs from the technique used, called thermocolor, which requires heat-sensitive paint applied to the blades of the engine's high-pressure turbine blades. It measures the temperature thanks to the color change, the DGA said in a statement. The conditions for this experiment reportedly took 5 years to prepare. Once the initial test results are checked, the project will move on to endurance tests, which will take several months. The new generation fighter, NGF, a sixth-generation fighter jet produced by France, Germany, and Spain as part of the Future Combat Air System, FCAS, will require a more powerful engine than its predecessor, according to the French Ministry of Arms Force. The higher the thrust, the higher the temperature. At the turbine inlet, temperatures may exceed 2,100 Kelvin, 1,826.85 degrees Celsius, which is 250 Kelvin, 250 degrees Celsius, hotter than the M88. Such circumstances are beyond the current material capabilities, the French ministry had previously stated at the start of the engine program. Information previously obtained indicates that Safran and MTU Aero engines will focus on their own area of competence in terms of engine development. The former will be in charge of overseeing the development of heat engine components, as well as integration activities. The cold components will be handled by the latter, who will also provide maintenance, repair, and overhaul (MRO) services. Furthermore, Safran's Director of Research, Technology and Innovation, Stéphane Kuhl, has previously highlighted the progress required to produce improved engines for the FCAS fighter. He has outlined in a press release from Safran that this new generation of fighter jets should be capable of producing strong supersonic thrust and traveling at low speeds for a long time. Therefore, the machine must be versatile. It will also be more compact to be lighter, and its thrust, much stronger than the Rafale, will allow FCAS to carry more weapons. The power plant that appears to power the NGF engine was adopted by the M88 engine, which currently powers the French 4.5 generation fighter, the Rafale. As such, as the new engine appears to have more thrust, it is expected to surpass the existing French fighter jets, which have experienced a surge in popularity. The power plant that appears to power the NGF engine was adopted by the M88 engine, which currently powers the French 4.5 generation fighter, the Rafale. As such, as the new engine appears to have more thrust, it is expected to outpace existing French fighter jets, which have seen a surge in popularity and exports in recent times. The engine will then be perfectly aligned with the needs of the next generation fighter, the 6th generation, which has the potential to be a stealth aircraft that is expected to outperform all fighter jets that Europe has ever developed. So, while most of the details about the testing and specifications of this prototype machine are still unknown, it is believed that it will push the FCAS program in a big way. Future Combat Air Systems Program. The Future Combat Air System, FCAS/System to Combat Aryan Future, SCAF, is a 6th-generation stealth fighter that was first shown at the Paris Air Show in 2019. It will replace the Dassault Rafale and Eurofighter Typhoon fighter jets. It is a system of systems that supports a network that includes next-generation fighter aircraft, mail, medium-altitude, long-endurance, drones, cruise missiles, swarm drones, and other aircraft, according to Airbus. The next-generation weapon system, NGWS, which will include the new generation fighter, NGF, long-range carrier, and air combat cloud, will form the foundation for FCAS. Spain became the first country to join the Future Combat Air System/System to Combat Aryan Future, FCAS/SCAF, program in 2019. In Brussels, Spain's Defense Minister, Margarita Robles, signed an agreement with her French and German counterparts Florence Parly and Ursula von der Leyen. Member states said in September 2021 that they would fund Phase 1B, 2021-2024, with your $3.6 billion or your $1.2 billion respectively, and that they would continue to collaborate until a prototype of a new European 6th generation fighter is ready to fly. The development phase of the FCAS program is projected to last 32 to 40 months. The FCAS initiative is central to the coordinated military strategy of the 3 European nations. Its advances have the same impact in maintaining technological balance and sovereignty with the world's great powers and even outperform the world's most advanced fighter jets. Machine testing is one step in that direction, although it's still in its early stages.